Welcome back to Stuff or Whatever podcast. BQuanchi here, getting ready to do a very special podcast this week. Before we get started, I always like to say the best way to support me in the channel is like, comment, and subscribe. YouTube, X, Twitter, and Twitch are the three main ones. Links are in the descriptions. I do gaming streams on Twitch, which get uploaded back here to YouTube, as well as I do Let's Play style channel uploads as well. So check that out. I appreciate any feedback as well, but also, I'm actually a little proud of myself because I did finally put a new game review. This one for a game called Checkmate Showdown, which I was hoping to do last month or even sooner, but procrastinated. And I think maybe it was a good thing I did because I had some microphone issues, which ever since I got a new setup, new computer, Windows 11, and things are a lot better, so I'm more happy with it. And I mentioned before, even though no one's really listening, but I always had issue with talking, speech. I went to speech classes a lot when I was a kid. Stutters and all that, and mispronunciations. That's a good example. But it's funny because because with the review I did for Checkmate Showdown initially, I recorded most of it first before the mic issues were fixed. And I think I had over 2 hours of recording. It wasn't even completed. So I scrapped it just because I wanted to use the better recording. And it was like about an hour and a half. So even though it's not even a 10-minute video, but I don't know. If it does it small, I guess creator types or whatever, it's kind of weird trying to be somewhat of I want to say perfectionist, but I don't think I can go that far. But, I don't want to have really bad takes in terms of, I don't know, just I always get worried about my, of course, pronunciations and also the flow of things in terms of I don't want to feel too agitated or abruptly stop. And I guess speaking is all hard in it. So it's not really my forte kind of thing. But yeah, I gotta record more of this other stuff I want to do. I've just been procrastinating, especially when this is a small hobby that I don't, get too much out of it. But I've been also doing a lot of recording, capturing, stuff like that for Let's Play. So there's gonna be more uploads twice a week. And I'll have it checking Indian game demos some more and some other stuff as well to kind of mix in. So check that out. I always appreciate any recommendations, but just some dumb channel updates for the beginning. Next thing I wanted to talk about is my Roku TV, and I'm just talking about it just because I like sharing stuff I actually use and stuff. Because I cut cable a long time ago, and even I still do a few streaming subscriptions for Netflix, Hulu, and stuff like that too. Sometimes it's have it on the background or just watch whatever, versus I don't know. I always feel like it's such a commitment when you're watching streaming stuff. And I know Hulu and HBO Max and stuff like that too. Have a bunch of shows you can watch. And doing it, but when it feels like it's a new recent series or movies, it feels like a commitment. Although others don't feel that way as much. You just have something on and mess with your phone half the time. But I was going through the Roku has an app or something. Where they have a lot of streaming channels, live TV, quote unquote, and a lot of it's just reruns of this and that with different themes, Hell's Kitchen, Comedy Central. This and that. Some games or some really old stuff too, really old sitcoms. Even the black and white ones are really old Doctor Who too, really classic Doctor Who. But I gone through it, and I don't know if they added more, but they had one for Sonic the Hedgehog, the old classic show cartoon, and Super Mario. But also I've been noticing because I had the Pluto TV app, and I noticed some of them get. Because basically on the Roku TV, this live TV, and it has whatever my antenna can pick up, but also Roku and Pluto TV, but it's not all of them. So when I actually check out the Pluto TV app, there's a lot more stuff. It's watching Hey Arnold and a lot of the cartoons too, even Beavis and Butthead. Really old stuff. Although the older stuff, weird saying Beavis and Butthead and old in the same sentence, but just my little blurb. And I don't know, maybe I don't watch too much of like regular TV that my Tana picks up just because it's kind of a hassle to get good quality. Might have to look into something better, but yeah, Pluto TV and it's free. That's the best part about it. Again, just sharing um, stuff I use, anything like that. But my biggest complaint is they do show a lot of ads, a lot of times in chunks and stuff like that too. But it's like free TV, and I kind of zone out on the ads or all that. But it's kind of I just kind of wish they would all migrate to the live TV because when you say that you have a huge like channel guide, whatever you want to call it. But a lot of this stuff is like you have to open up the Pluto TV or Roku, like especially with the originals. Like it's kind of like on demand or almost like kind of like a Netflix or streaming service update service, whatever app. You have to like choose which ones you want to watch. It's on demand. Like sometimes you even have some decent movies, or there's that Weird Al one that was really good. That was original. I like Kevin Hart stuff too. I don't know what's that all about, but yeah, just better than paying for cable, definitely. The next thing I want to talk about is being a streamer, and this is kind of my own 2 cents. I think it was earlier this week or over the weekend and stuff like that. With that one, um, I want to hear clips of him like when it's like I know like a bad take or whatever goes viral, but the Hassan Piker and it's a big deal because he was talking about how streaming is such a hard job, like probably one of the hardest jobs out there, and I think it was some clarification, like he was talking about like social batteries, like it kind of like drains you and stuff like that too. Even like acknowledge like some jobs like customer service and stuff like that, like you're that's draining too, and it seems kind of like a wah wah kind of thing, and it's hard to sympathize. I do get it. Being a streamer can be very hard, but I feel like once you like hit that peak or threshold milestone threshold whatever that tipping point like hey you're successful like you this is like easy street in a sense things can always go wrong cancel culture and stuff like that too but I feel like a lot of times like these online creators it really depends, it really varies just like what they do and stuff like that but it feels like a lot of the complaints is self-imposed like oh I stream 9 hours but no one's really forcing them to and all that and yeah, like every job, I think most jobs even compared to streaming, but I don't know. I guess it can be mentally taxing as well. But yeah, in a lot of cases, you're your own boss and you can take breaks if you want to, change up your schedule. I don't know if you would just get that like mindset, like I have to do this for this long. Kind of being a slave to the fact of being a streamer versus like you can do whatever you pretty much want. Like if you get to that point, like you know it's really not that bad. Like I would trade that in a second if I can to have that success. Even me, like I had customer service jobs before, even like in a call center and stuff like that. Don't want to get too much what I currently do, just because it's my personal life. But anyways, it's like more physical labor than anything else. And I'm even drained and stuff like that too. Like a lot of times I don't socialize after work. Like I'm not like socially battery drained or anything. Just like I'm just drained, just regular drained. And I think a lot of jobs like that as well. We work like instructions or police force or cooking, and kitchen and stuff like that too. Like almost every job, even if it's not customer facing, anything like that. Like a lot of people, it just kind of depends. Like maybe if it's your Friday, you would want to like blow off some steam, but it just like I rarely socialize on a work day after work just because of that. It's not that it's part of it. It's probably you don't have too many friends. It's hard to make friends when you have two left feet. But also like part of that, like it's kind of like again, it's like wow, wow, like hard to sympathize or care, empathize with Hassan Piker. I thought like he's like rich or something, or he came from a rich family. I don't know. I'm kind of spouting stuff I heard online, which probably isn't the best thing to do. But especially in his current position, being a streamer, like is extremely fortunate. Maybe arguably extremely lucky because a lot of people like won't get that success ever. I probably won't. I would like to do more with it. At least have some. If I'm really honest, I don't know. It's all the dumb post. Like I just caught myself. Like some people hate the term brutally honest because it's not about being honest, but being brutal. But that's not the case. If I'm being honest, yeah, I would like more of a supplemental income with YouTube or Twitch or whatever. But I'm having fun. A lot of it, I've been playing old games. Um, I've been enjoying playthroughs, and then new games I'm playing. And some of the mindset is like, hey, if I'm going to play this, why not stream it? Although I don't have the best setup to like stream everything I play, and I work full time job too, so it's like it's going back to that battery. But like with that, like in the Son Piker's case, he's extremely fortunate. Like if he has a bad day, then boo-hoo. Like he still has his following, he still has his platforms, he still has probably a lot of money in bank accounts or whatever. Like I don't know the facts that it successful people online known to like makes a lot more income than your everyday man. Versus like if it's a minimum wage worker doing customer service or retail, like if they have a bad day or have a bad customer or have a bad boss, they can lose their job and be totally screwed, especially if they work paycheck to paycheck. So it's not just like, oh, I'm being drained because part of my job is to have this energy helping customers, dealing with customers. Then that it's like also the stress, like, hey, I need to do this. I need to kiss butt where I have to kiss butt. I have to take shit if I have to take shit because if I don't have this job, if I don't have income, I'm screwed, kind of thing. So I think there's a lot more stressors and all that, especially with the huge gap in financial gain or income, whatever. Like for someone sitting, talking to chat or reacting to videos or playing video games and stuff like that. I think that's also the reason why people had a hard time to empathize because I was just say be honest, like jealousy in the sense like, hey, you're barely doing much effort yet you have tons of money, you have a mansion, you have more expensive cars, whatever. I get too in depth in terms of like seeing what these people have in terms of homes and possessions and stuff like that. But there's always that like weird like, hey, I bust my ass a lot at work, and I'm not like living paycheck to paycheck, but I could be a lot more comfortable. I could definitely be more comfortable and all that. But the fact that like there's a lot more harder jobs than being a streamer. Like it can be stressful, especially if you kind of have that mental mindset of worrying too much, being so focused, like checking numbers, worrying about this and that. I can definitely agree with that and see that and seeing that'd be hard. Also, like some streamers, like I feel like are screaming or being too loud or all that. So I think this playing it up for a camera, that's their decision. They're choosing to do that. And I guess this is the hard things too, like chasing trends. Like, okay, I got to do this because this is a popular thing, or I play this game because this is the it game, and it's like chasing the next dragon kind of thing. But I think for the most part, like do whatever you want in a sense. Like if you get to that like sweet spot in terms of followers and subscribers and audience in general, like you can pretty much do anything you want, besides illegal messed up stuff or stuff that will get you banned from the platform. Like keep it cool. But I feel like a lot of these creators have a lot of freedom to do whatever they want. Like for the mental sake, like take a break, maybe do shorter streams, less frequent, or I don't know. I don't dive too much into them in terms of what they do with the content. Like if they have channels on YouTube with VODs or this and that, like you put your eggs in multiple baskets and be like pretty much set, and you always save a lot of money too. Like if you want to take a week or two off, like a lot of people don't have that privilege. Like a lot of everyday people can barely get time off work because either they don't have the benefit or they will just don't have income for like unpaid days off or this and that, and it's like they can't afford that. So a lot of people are not in those comfortable positions. So that's kind of like my little rant about it. Like streaming, it's not a hard job, and if I'm honest, and it can be very difficult, especially if it's self-imposed, a lot of stress to it. But yeah, that's my dumb 2 cents about it. The next thing I want to talk about is another complaint about X Twitter. I saw this post I guess cisgender is going to officially be a slur that can get flagged on X because not like Elon Musk complained about it before. And first off, it's not a slur. And I had a lot more slurs on the site, so I'm not sure if he's doing anything like that. But I saw like this post. It may be situational because I typed in and didn't get the warning, but it's like, hey, I think it's like your post is going to be suppressed or hidden because of our terms and conditions, like our policies or whatever. I forget the exact word, but someone like mentioning that, and people like confirming, and especially with Elon Musk's post as well talking about it. It might be selective because like if he can actually use the word in a post and not have any issues, but it's more so just complaining about it. But it's just annoying and all that, and it's stupid. That's what I also have to say. Again, there's worse stuff out there. I even got to the point that I had to add some racial slurs to my muted words, and I think it helps out. I would say it helps out a lot because I feel like some just add like those viral video ones where they add like a racial slur. I don't know, even though it's in a slang kind of way, it just not needed. It's not used in a hateful way, but you just get kind of annoyed seeing that. It just kind of depends, but it's like, okay, these words are not okay, and these words are okay, even though they're generally not. But another complaint about that. But I haven't mentioned this just because I don't. I forget, but I'll say it again if I have. But I got the Blue Sky account because that was it the beginning of this month or last month that it went more public, that you don't need invites, so it's more open now, and I like it a lot compared to other Twitter X competitors. Like, I never tried Mastodon. Hive was kind of lame. Threads is definitely lame, even though that's Meta as well. The Facebook people, which is surprising as well. But I feel like Blue Sky is the best competitor. I had some complaints about it, like you can't pin a post, you can't upload videos, you can't schedule a post. And I think the only thing that's like, it doesn't quite have the huge bandwagon or user base compared to Twitter, of course. So I feel like maybe over time, I feel like that it may, maybe even by the end of the year. But it's definitely, and one thing I like, it has a website. Like Hive had a website, just an app. So we'll see. I think it's definitely competent when it comes to social media. That's nice. Also, just because it's not definitely not my thing, but that Truth Social, I think that's very, very far right, which I don't get too political, but I feel like that's not quite my mindset. So that's the only other one I feel is a competitor to X, but we'll have to see how things go down. I was trying to think of other stuff like going on with X that like kind of not happen. Like, wasn't streaming post supposed to be a thing? Like, wasn't, because I thought Elon streamed like the Diablo 4 or Baldur's Gate 3 or something. Like, it's supposed to be like almost like the new Twitch. At least like pushing videos. I always complain about that a lot as well. So I don't think it's ever going to fare to YouTube in sense of YouTube was designed about video uploads where Twitter isn't exactly, or X isn't. It's more of a timeline. So I don't know. And then like stuff, I'm kind of repeating myself as well, but the whole like, hey, you can make money off posts, like upload videos, Mr. Beast, and it's like a lot of people aren't going to have that success. So I don't know. It's like you hear things and they kind of like fizzle out. So even I'll just remember, like, I guess X is gonna try to get like an email system, and God, I would hate to use domain x.com for an email, even though I don't email that often. But imagine like employees like looking for a job, or people looking for a job, and that's their account. I think the whole thing's pretty stupid, but keep coming back to it. I think it's just because there's still so many people there, you know, why not? And you get some out of it, but it's like a dumpster fire that you can't help but watch every now and again. So next thing I want to talk about is fast food related stuff. So this was kind of a recent story with Wendy's, and I do love my Wendy's, but there is some backlash. There is this talks about implementing what they were calling dynamic pricing starting next year, and they definitely backpedaled on. But the thing was like this was like increased prices during high traffic, like lunch rushes and stuff like that too, and maybe be cheaper in slow times. Kind of like when you think like Uber and surge pricing and stuff like that, or like when there's big events for hotel bookings, and then sometimes that hotel room would be a lot more. Like during the summer when there's more people going on vacation and all that. So yeah, a lot of people were pissed off, and then it kind of like backpedaled, and I don't know, it feels like that's not what we meant, like it was misrepresented, stuff like that too. So it's kind of hard to say like if it was accurately described right in the beginning when it was first reported on, or they're like totally backpedaling. Because yeah, there's a lot of complaints with that, especially with you don't mess with people in the food, especially fast food, because there's a lot of like a lot of counterpoints you can say about any fast food restaurant doing surge pricing and stuff like that too, because that's what it is. They have dynamic pricing that can increase. Yeah, that's price gouging, price surging, all that. Because I've seen a bunch of crazy clips of videos of like people hassling, abusing workers, and if you add price gouging to it, then I can't imagine how worse it can be. Especially these people are minimum wage, and then these higher ups making the decisions. They probably never worked a fast food shift in their life, kind of thing. So I can just see like people getting really mad, but it also like, hey, if you're gonna increase prices, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Like if it's gonna be selective, or again, like surge pricing, like the lunch rush where you want to get the time of day where you want to get lunch and you have to pay a lot more, then fuck that restaurant, like go somewhere else, kind of thing. And I'm not sure if that would be like every Wendy's, like just because location can vary with how much business they get. Like I can't even imagine how that would work or how that would be implemented. And there's always things like advertising as well. Like, can you like argue this like false advertising is like, oh, this deal is $5 for the biggie bag or whatever, or it's 4 for 4, and we'd have to add like disclaimer like, hey, that may change vary by dynamic pricing, quote unquote, and stuff like that too. And yeah, it's very stupid. It's hopefully it would show like, hey, like don't pull this kind of crap, stuff like that too. Because when hungry people want the food and you're trying to rip them off like this, even though I'm not sure it would be too much of a rip off when it comes to Wendy's increasing prices. But yeah, it just sounds like a bunch of BS, and it's a good way to. Well, it did. I was going to say it's a good way to piss people off, but it did piss a lot of people off and stuff like that. So kind of gets me a little cautious, because I wonder if they're hoping this will die down and then they kind of implement it later next year. We'll kind of have to wait and see. But yeah, I just from what I hear, it is like a bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. The next thing I want to talk about, still fast food related, is the KFC Chisa, which I'm not sure if I'm going to try. It looks interesting. I seen somebody describe it as I saw the Peebs peanut butter gamer like on his side channel. He did a short trying it out. It's almost kind of like you describe it as a chicken parmesan, which sounds good, but I've been seeing like it's like $10 for like a piece of chicken with some pizza sauce and cheese and pepperoni on it. So I'm not sure if it's worth it, but it might be worth trying. I think it was the last time it had KFC is when they brought back the Double Down, when they had the 2 chicken breast or whatever as the bun, and it had like bacon and cheese in the middle. It was okay. It was a good chicken, but it felt like I'd rather just have each fried chicken breast on the bun. Like I would just break it apart and make 2 sandwiches. Even though it's a lot of food, but it feels like a huge novelty to anything else. But and I think that might be the cheese. That might be a novelty, but it's also stuff they typically don't have, like pepperoni and pizza sauce and stuff like that. So it seems interesting. I'm not sure if I'll bite the bullet and try it. But it got me thinking, like, that sounds like a good idea, like, to just make at home, or even do, like, a cheap version of it. Like, I'm guilty of having, like, those frozen chicken patties, like the Tyson patties. Just, like, heat one up. Get the pizza sauce that comes in a square bottle. Just put some pizza sauce, some cheese, and pepperoni. Heat up a little bit to melt the cheese. And you can easily make, like, a pizza chicken at home. But you probably, like, make more effort, like, if you get a frying chicken, like get a chicken breast, fry it, and then top it that way. That's probably a lot cheaper, and probably even a lot better. Uh, Sounds like a good, I was like thinking like I'm not always the active chef in the kitchen or cook in the kitchen, but this sound good. Like this, fry up a bunch of chicken, like breast, batter them up, fry them, and then top them, put them cheese and pizza sauce, pepperoni. Let me put them in the oven for a little bit. That does sound good. So I don't know. I might try it, but it's interesting. That's all. It's like an interesting novelty. I think when there's an interesting novelty in fast food, it gets attention. And also, speaking of novelty, I think I talked this a long time ago when it was being tested, but the Taco Bell, they were testing this giant cheese it, like do tostada, and also have it included in a crunch wrap. So apparently that's going to be coming sometime this year, and I kind of want to try it. Taco Bell is like one of my more guilty pleasures when it comes to fast food. But when I was looking up at, there's like an article. I think there's like a presentation or something or a conference. I'm not sure how these fast food companies work, but like someone was talking about all these food items coming. And one that seems very interesting is Baja Blast Gelato, and also a Baja Blast Pie, and also chicken nuggets. I guess they're gonna try to bring chicken nuggets to Taco Bell, which they do good stuff with chicken. I like that one naked chicken taco that was kind of like just fried chicken with. I like that more than the double down from KFC. But with the Baja Blast stuff, I think it's kind of like a flavor. Like, is it nice creamy gelato? And the pie is kind of like, it looks like a cream pie, so it's not like a weird whatever pie. And saw some stuff like with the cinnamon twist, like they're gonna use a tahini seasoning or like other stuff too. They like do a tahini taco shell, kind of like the Doritos Los. I can't. I can't even think of the name that they use for the Doritos tacos. So they're just gonna say Dorito tacos and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. Like Taco Bell's kind of the, again, like I guilty of going there on a regular basis, but yeah, just some fast food news to kind of rant about. And the last thing I want to talk about on this podcast is all those live action adaptations. I know a lot of them have been recently with Netflix, and I don't know. It's weird that they feel like well, at least what you see online, that they get a lot of success, but then they get a lot of complaints. I haven't watched the new one, the Avatar: The Last Airbender. I never fully watched this series, only a couple episodes. I know I heard so many good things about it, and I know a long time ago, well, I say a long time, but when the first live action movie came out by M. Night Shyamalan, that bombed pretty bad, or at least critically bombed. And I'm not sure about the series, so I have to see, because only few live action stuff I actually checked out was the One Piece one and the Yu Yu Hakusho. And kind of like my opinion with that, I would agree that I guess you can say good. Kind of depends. Yu Yu Hakusho, I kind of have mixed feelings because that is a favorite anime of mine. But I feel like they rush stuff so much, like they skip so many arcs. I'm not even sure if it's going to have a second season or if it's going to fully go with the story of the manga or the anime. And I'm not sure if it's just because I always listen to English dub, but it feels like it has a weak dub for English. I love, even though the anime dub is much older, that's probably one of my favorite English dub is a Yu Yu Hakusho. But again, like, it's kind of confusing too watching the Yu Yu Hakusho, because they did some really good arcs, like when he becomes Genkai's apprentice. That was like a whole tournament, and that was a big arc. And they had like these bugs that like turn human people like do crazy, strong whatever going in, and it kind of like had that as a little thing. But that was part of like the Saint Beast arc, where it had like all these this group of higher class demons like wanting to break from the fortress because they were kind of like punished there, like to break a force field, and they were able to send these insects to Earth and stuff like that. So the Saint Beast arc was really good too. Don't mention when they change it up, like when they rescue the character Yukina, they have like basically the fights were from the Dark Tournament, so it's like they had those fights early. So like I'm curious if they're going to do a Dark Tournament, or are they just going to skip to Chapter Black? That might be the case, because I've been hearing like some of the issues with these live action adaptations is budget and stuff like that too. I appreciate that at least they try to stay true to the animated source material. But the one thing I heard about One Piece is that a lot of stuff was like shrunk down or again like rushed, or a lot of characters were cut, and it's a shame too. Although a lot of times anime, especially One Piece, can be very very bloated in terms of like episodes and the story arc and all that. So I know One Piece is set to have a second season, the live action, but I'll be surprised if it has a third one. I think it's just gonna fizzle out. This has some good reception, but it feels like it, especially fans of the source material. I think maybe the people who aren't aware of the source material aren't too upset about it. And some still like enjoy it, give or take complaints here and there. But yeah, it just stuff gets cut out. Like one thing about the Yu Yu Hakusho, I wish it would have included was there's the principal in Yusuke's high school, and they just completely cut him off because he's kind of like has faith in Yusuke, like even as a big delinquent character. But I like that perspective because that's one thing I feel like things are so rushed that the characters feel very one dimensional, and they'll have a character growth or other sides of them to really explore. Especially like the dynamic with Yusuke and Kuwabara. Especially like the Saint Beast arc, there was a lot of like struggles and like you can see like maybe like more of a friendship over time. You can see like more having like just think of it as some clown who wants to beat him up or fight versus like an actual friend, an actual I can say like a comrade or teammate, whatever. There's really dark tournament stuff too, but you get to see a lot more character growth and dynamic and stuff like that. And like with Yusuke and Genkai, it just kind of a bummer that all of it's rushed as well. So we'll see. But I think some of the worst. I'm not watching like everything out there. I did see the Death Note one, and that was very disappointing. I think gonna try to make another attempt at that. I just felt like the character is a lot different. Act like in terms of like how they act and stuff like that. Like L, I felt like was a good casting choice, and who played did he keep his name as Light? I'm not even sure if he changed the name, like I'm forgetting stuff about it. Well, yeah, that was a big disappointment, and I've never seen it. I'm not sure if I want to track down, but the Dragon Ball Evolution, the live action movie, I'm not sure if that's like worth even watching just to watch something bad. That's what me think about. And also, I thought there was like word that they're going to try to do a live action Naruto and maybe even live action My Hero Academia. And I think that just is bad in a sense that I think those shows, like, if they don't have the budget for it, like, they can do a lot of CG and stuff like that too, but they don't have the budget for all the characters and the action scenes and stuff like that too. It's going to be a huge bit disappointing, but I can just see if they do come out, just going to rush stories, they're going to rush story arcs. It's going to be disappointing, so I don't want to see that. Let's see, because I think, again, going back to it, I think the huge thing is the budget. Even though these are really well-known, even very popular franchises and animes and stuff like that too, it just like, I guess it could be worse. Like with One Piece, it does, feel like it follows a lot of beats of the stories and representation versus like, I don't know. Again, I only seen like summaries of the Dragon Ball Evolution or Death Note. That's when I actually did see. I almost feel like the people who wrote the film or directed have not seen the source material at all. That's interesting. I heard some things about the Fullmetal Alchemist. I think they just made those into like 3 movies, and that's a favorite of mine too. But I don't know, from what I've seen, I mostly I like the silly, like Alphonse, the suit of armor character. Looks like he's from the anime, but you have stuff like people wearing wigs and trying to resemble their anime counterpart and stuff like that. But I know it's something to complain about, especially like when you want to see your favorite series kind of get more of a spotlight or at least more material versus they just like remain dormant. So I think that's why I was excited about the Yu Yu Hakusho. Then the live action, like some stuff it kind of plays true to it, but I feel like a lot of stuff is rushed, and I don't know if I have to look that up. Because I feel like if they do more, they might just skip to Chapter Black and maybe just do a second season and finish up the story and stuff like that too. But anyways, that's all my dumb brain wants to talk about this week. So thanks so much for watching, listening. Best way you can to support me in the channel is like, comment, and subscribe. There's going to be a little bit more frequent uploads. Some stuff I'm kind of excited to post because, again, a lot of the indie game demos I really enjoyed. Have more to even record, but that's pretty much it. Maybe one day it'll be more bigger, successful, and there's stuff I still want to put together and upload, but it is what it is. But anyways, y'all take care and have a good rest of your day. Bye.